Yo, Danny Mitchell here. So we're just going to work a bit of stuff on lockdown. So I really like the 10th phonics system. I'm always playing around with it, and yeah, I've got my own little take on the little lockdown path. So I'm just going to show you what I do from here. So we're in the half guard, and I'm going to make lockdown. So lockdown is when my outside leg comes in. Okay, so outside leg comes in, inside foot goes under his ankle, and I'm making that lock and I'm stretching that leg out. Okay, so that's my lockdown. Okay, so we're here. Now, one thing that'll happen when you're in the lockdown, a lot of times the guy on top, he's going to start using this wedge here. So when he does that, all I do is I flare my knees and I just pin his leg to the floor. Okay, so I do this and I try and keep his ankle as best I can. So that's a really good way to keep his leg in. Once he takes this out, I can go back to stretching that. But I'm always kind of switching between those two. So that's just about keeping the lockdown. The next thing I need is double underhooks. So the traditional way that people do this is they're going to start to frame like this and create some space, and they put the hand inside and then they swim and then they go under. Okay? So I have a little bit of a different way that I work from here. So once I've got the lockdown, what I look for is, I call it the crowbar. So it's just a palm to palm grip, and I use this from loads of positions. I could do a full instructional just on this crowbar grip. But what I'm going to try and do is sneak it in underneath his neck, and I just grab and I just lock his shoulder in position here. Okay, so I might have my elbow, just lift you in a second, I might have my elbow under his neck, or sometimes I'll be lucky enough to get it under his armpit. But either way, it doesn't matter, I just want to get this crowbar grip. Sometimes you might be able to just loop this, you know, so I'm here, I've got a loose grip, and I might be able to quickly bring it over. But if Jack knows that that's coming, he uses his head to kind of block it. So I'd say most of the time all I do is I sneak my hand in, and I just try and sneak it in like this, and then I grip. Okay, so once I've got my lockdown and I've got my crowbar, and this his lower body's locked and his upper body's locked. So it's pretty stuck. It's hard for him to pass. It's a bit of a negative position, like there's not a lot of movement happening. Okay, so from here I'm going to start using the crowbar now to lever up here, and that's going to give me a window to swing my elbow in and then get my underhook. Okay. What I don't want to do is try and swing my hand in and then he just clamps on that, clamp, yeah, and then I'm stuck here and there's a possible, you know, shoulder lock going to happen. So I'm here, look, I'm going to lever this up, I'm going to try and get my elbow underneath the armpit, and then once it's under, I can just dive and I'm getting my underhooks. So once I've got my underhooks, I have to be aware of quite a few things. I don't just want to sit here. Okay? If I sit here and leave my neck open, you can start to work for that Ezekiel choke. So you can start to work this, okay? So what I want to do is lift this nice and high. So I'm here and I'm lifting this high. I'm going to kick with my legs up, and I'm turning to the inside, and I'm keeping this. Jack's going to have to base. If he doesn't base, he's going to get swept. So I'm keeping this, and I'm keeping nice and tight. And I'm really trying to be mindful of letting him get his arm through here, because if I let him get that through and he gets that dart, I'm going to be stuck. So I'm keeping that grip and I'm being mindful of like pinching this. He'll be able to get a little overhook, he'll be able to get his hand in, but I don't want him to be able to punch through and get that full dart grip. Okay, so if we come back to the start, so I managed to get my crowbar, I lever it up, I get my elbow in and we're under. I'm going to kick up, turn, and I'm here, I'm keeping nice and tight, okay? And I'm pinching my armpit just so he can't drive that through. Once I'm there, I'm pulling the bottom leg out. So the top leg is going to try and hook like this. So I'm reaping his leg. This is going to allow me to pull the bottom leg out. So what I've got to do is base on my shoulder, and I can start to pull this out. Now I can base on my head, start to come up. And we're in this dogfight position. I can just knee tap him and run him down. And we're good to go. See you later, boys. So again, we're in lockdown, crowbar grip, lever it up, get under the armpit, boom, we're here. Be mindful of that Ezekiel. So I'm lifting him up high as I turn, keeping this nice and tight, reaping his leg as I build my base, tapping that knee, coming through, and I get the sweep. So traditionally, on the lockdown, it's here, and I would lift and get right under. But a lot of time what I try and do is I just keep this. Once I've got this, I'm just going to try and manipulate here. And I try and do as much as I can without letting go of the body lock. So it's a really good drill, trying to get up to your knees without breaking this body lock. For someone who's got a small waist like Jack, I'm going to do a butterfly grip. If they're a little bit bigger, I might be doing a palm to palm. And if they're really big, I'll use an S grip like this. Okay, so I can get a bit more of a grip around them. So I'll just do one more time, and that's just the basic kind of lockdown path. So one more time, this full sort of path from here. So we're in the half guard. I'm going to get my lockdown first, then I'm going to look for my crowbar. So I'm going to sneak this in, and we're here. I'm going to lift, elbow goes in, then I swing for double underhooks. I'm shrugging this shoulder because I want to avoid that Ezekiel. I'm kicking my legs up, I'm turning in. Jack's going to keep his base. If he loses his base there, I'll just take the sweep. I'm keeping tight, I'm reaping this leg, so this leaves this leg free to start to pull out. I can start to come to my knees now, and I can reach down and just tackle him straight down and get my pass. So that's my basic version of the basic lockdown pathway. Just getting to your knees, just using that crowbar. It's really useful. I'll use it from butterfly here. We'll be here, and I'll use it. I'll use it from close guard as well. I use it here. If you're trying to pass under my legs, like a double unders, I'll use it here. It's a really useful grip, but that's my application for it from the lockdown. Give it a go.